is enough said.
Happy Thursday, Heat Nation. Ernest here, back with another Miami Heat Talk video. Excited because the weekend's around the corner. I'm ready to rock and roll on another Miami Heat Talk adventure. Guys, please take a moment, smash the like button, subscribe. Really appreciate the support. Got a good one for you today. Now, yesterday I gave you guys two videos. Y'all know I be spoiling you sometimes. Me and the boys from the Miami Heat Roundtable cut a really good episode yesterday about Jimmy Butler. I even posted an individual video yesterday about Jimmy Butler. If you guys haven't seen it, take a moment, go ahead and watch those videos. But we came up with some great topics. We came up with some great conversations. You know, the fact with Jimmy Butler possibly, rumored to be traded by the Miami Heat, I don't honestly think it's going to happen. I think all of this is speculation. Jimmy Butler is coming up for a contract extension. He's eligible for one on July 7th. So you're going to hear a lot of rumors and inclinations. Some of them may be coming up from Jimmy Butler's camp. Some of them may be coming up from the teams itself, just to spark, I guess a sense of urgency for the Miami Heat to give Jimmy Butler this extension. They know that they don't have to. They know it may take some time. So the Heat are not rushing to do this extension. And I don't think there's really frustration between Miami and Jimmy. I think that's just all out there in the media. I think everything's cool right now. I think the Heat are just going to do the wait and see approach. Right now, I don't think the focus is solely on Jimmy and Bam's contract extension. I think the focus right now is seeing what they can do to upgrade this roster via the draft coming up next month and then free agency. We talked about the Heat having that $5.2 million mid-level exception. We've talked about trades. You have a lot of assets that you can put up with a trade. A trade may be done on the draft. You may be able to get in the Donovan Mitchell sweepstakes. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We are back on Spider Watch today. We're talking about Donovan Mitchell. And why? Because last night, a post was put out by Adrian Wojnarowski that caught my attention. Now, look, I know I've questioned Woj in the past, but that has been mainly more of when he's talking about a player. When he's talking about, for example, when he said that Donovan Mitchell was happy in Cleveland and that he was going to re-sign the 4-year extension. I just think that was Adrian Wojnarowski reporting for the team just to make everything seem up and up. There may be a little bit of truth to that, but not really so much. Now, a report like this catches my attention because this is directly Woj reporting for the team. This was reported last night. ESPN sources have told me that Cleveland Cavaliers has been granted permission to interview Golden State Warriors assistant coach Kenny Atkinson and New Orleans assistant head coach James Borrego for the head coaching job. Cavs are beginning an expansive interview process that will include several more candidates. End quote. Okay. So what do we know about the Cavs so far? We know that they lost in the second round to the Boston Celtics. Donovan Mitchell didn't play the last 2 games. We know they've been surmounted by injuries this year, and they were still able to get a pretty good seed. We know that they fired their coach after losing in the second round to Cleveland. So when you fire your head coach and you're a playoff contending team, you need to make sure that you hit on this next head coach. Kenny Atkinson and James Borrego are fine as assistant coaches. If you guys don't remember, Kenny Atkinson was the coach with Brooklyn Nets from 2016 to 2020. He started the whole Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving thing in Brooklyn, I guess you could say, when they went to the team and he was the head coach. Didn't really work out. He got fired and he was replaced by Steve Nash. Not really a good replacement at that time. So Kenny Atkinson doesn't really have the major experience. Now, he did lead the Brooklyn Nets to the 6th seed in the 2019 playoffs when Kyrie and Kevin Durant were out. He gave them a nice little run. They lost in the first round to Philadelphia, but that was a fun little team to watch. The dancing on the bench and all that stuff. James Borrego, he's been an assistant for New Orleans now. I mean, look, guys, these are fine coaches. I think these are exceptional coaches for Cleveland to have and to bring on their roster. But if you're telling me that Donovan Mitchell is going to sign a 4-year maximum contract extension and give his prime to Cleveland. Because remember, he's 27 years old. This max contract is his major one. So if you're telling me that Donovan Mitchell is going to sacrifice his prime by staying with Cleveland and playing for one of these coaches, I won't believe you. I won't believe that. Because if you fire JB Bickerstaff, a coach that got you to the second round of the playoffs, you need to make sure that if you're firing him, you're doing a home run hit. Look at what Milwaukee did this season. They let go of Adrian Griffin to bring on Doc Rivers. Mistake. Adrian Griffin was doing fine on the team, I felt. They were the second seed with him at the coach. They let him go and they brought in Doc Rivers. Didn't work. Players look at that kind of stuff, you guys. And if you're telling me that Donovan Mitchell, there's a reason why Donovan Mitchell has turned down 3 contract extensions by Cleveland. We know that he originally did not want to be traded there when all of this started. So, and the fact that they fired JB Bickerstaff and the fact that they're coach shopping right now, and we are coming up on the cusp of free agency and contract extension deadlines. This is going to be very interesting going into offseason because this is more signs that are telling me that Donovan Mitchell may be traded. Because what Cleveland is trying to do, they're trying to convince Mitchell to stay. You're not going to convince Mitchell to stay with these coaches. You need a great coach to convince Donovan Mitchell to stay. The Miami Heat has a great coach in Eric Spoelstra. The Miami Heat just re-signed guys like Caron Butler, Chris Quinn, other assistant coaches as well, to re-up and to secure this coaching staff. You have a culture that is committed to winning a championship. You have a very close friend to Donovan Mitchell and Bam Adebayo, who both of them are around the same age and can dominate South Florida for years to come. Be the faces of South Florida for years to come. So all of this reporting from Woj about the Cleveland Cavaliers coaching switching and the interviewing process is telling me that the Miami Heat are getting closer and closer to possibly getting Spida. We just have to be patient, and we can't play around. We need to understand that if we want a guy like Donovan Mitchell on this team, we can't be outbid. We got to give Cleveland something that's going to be amazing. Now, we've heard in the past that Cleveland is interested in Tyler Hero and Jaime Jaquez Jr. You can also include several first-round draft picks, 2 to 3 possibly. You also have a young asset like Nikola Jovic. You also have the 15th pick in this upcoming draft. You also have your second-round pick in this upcoming draft. You have a lot of assets that you can give up for Donovan Mitchell, but the question is, how much do you have to give? Now, I've mentioned it in the past. I think a Donovan Mitchell trade can be done with a Tyler Hero, Jaime Jaquez Jr., the 15th pick in the upcoming draft, or Nikola Jovic with 2 future first-round picks included on top of that. You do that, you get Donovan Mitchell. What would this team look like with Donovan Mitchell? Let's say if you trade Tyler Hero, Jaime Jaquez, and the 15th pick. So now you need to take your $5.2 million exception and get a center. That's what you need to do with that contract. Look at guys like I've mentioned before, Andre Drummond. See if Jonas Valanciunas can come here. Because it's like I said in the previous video. If Donovan Mitchell is traded to the Miami Heat with Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo, you guys, I look for players that can make more money to take less money to come to the Heat and win a championship. Look at a guy like Jonas Valanciunas to sign a 1-year mid-level exception for Miami, get a championship, and then go get the bag somewhere else. Players have done that. Bruce Brown. Look at that effect when Denver beat Miami in the championship. There's going to be players that you're going to be able to put on this team. Players that can make a little bit more money may come over here for the veteran minimum just to win a championship. Help you win a game and then boost their value the next year in free agency. But if you have Donovan Mitchell, Jimmy Butler, and Bam Adebayo starting with Duncan Robinson, Nikola Jovic, I think that's a great starting lineup right there. Let Spida play the point. Then you also have your $5.2 million exception that you bring back. You can bring back Haywood Highsmith on a friendly contract as well. Go over the cap to re-sign him. You can bring back DeLon Wright. Josh Richardson will come back. Kevin Love may come back. You're going to have options. You're going to be able to fill this roster and make it work. So I want to hear from you, Heat fans. Do you think that this report by Woj last night, the fact that Cleveland is just scrounging around for coaches, the fact that not a big name coach is linked to Cleveland, do you think this may mean that Donovan Mitchell may want out in Cleveland? Or do you think it doesn't matter at all? Donovan Mitchell is slated to sign that maximum contract extension with Cleveland. Let me know what you think in the comments, you guys. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 4,000 subscribers, and I need you guys' help to get there. Thank you so much to everyone who supports this channel. I love y'all. Enjoy your Thursday, and that is enough said.